Go home, baby.
Right now, we sitting here at the Upper Boxing Center where we always meet at. This is our meeting ground since we was amateurs and whatnot, right? He's coming. We waiting for our champ to get here so we can just go come on down the mall and see what's ready to unfold.
Y'all getting the last little bit of Gervonta that y'all gonna see. I'm gonna make sure I do what I'm supposed to so I can be the best I can.
2 sparring partners and rounds is unknown.
All right, y'all. Let's go. Bam!
When they watch us in here working, they saying we going bang, 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 bang.
There you go. Good. There you go.
When he get in that ring, he's on a mission. Because he understand that he got to put his pants on, training wheels going. You got what you asked for. Let's get it now.
Slow it down. Good word.
He ain't playing with nobody. You step in that ring with him, be prepared.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has returned to his original training camp in Baltimore, where his professional journey first began, and is once again working closely with Coach Calvin Ford. He is refining every part of his game with the goal of reclaiming his position at the top of the division.
Man, I call it three things. I look at Tank trying to find himself as the businessman, the fighter, and the family man. Nobody can give him a manual. You know, he ain't come around that stable American way of life where he can learn from it. You can see glimpses and pieces of different people's life. He tries to get into it, but he won't really understand it. So right now, he's just trying to find himself. I look at him and look at myself. And I had my journey too, you know, and I see his journey. His journey is different.
You know, I could do anything, especially in your backyard.
You gonna feel all we got to do? Look, hey Tank, we gonna go 35-12.
And perhaps the most powerful testimony comes from someone who has known Tank the longest, Coach Barry Hunter, pointing to a moment from years ago that revealed everything about who Gervonta Davis truly is. This is a fighter who was never built for comfort, and that hunger never goes away.
Ever since I've known him, since he was a kid, his biggest fear is losing. I'll never forget this day, and he told the story himself. I believe we were in Vegas. Adrian Bronner was fighting. And I turned around and Tank, he was crying. Well, what are you crying for? He said, I want it. And I said, you want what? He said, I want all of this. He was so in awe with Adrian, the accolades and him winning titles, blah, blah, blah. And he wanted to be that guy. And when I saw him crying, I was like, wow, you know, I stepped off. I said, wow, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna have to worry about him. He gonna fight hard to get it.
After spending time away from boxing, Gervonta "Tank" Davis discovered an inner drive that would not fade. And now that he is back in the gym, that renewed motivation has grown into a powerful force as he focuses on taking back everything he once held in the sport.
10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good. Under here. Roll under the bed. Good job.
That lawnmower. That's that. Yeah. Stop that.
I made the decision of training. I haven't been in the coldness in a minute. I haven't even trained in the coldness in a minute. So I feel as though this will help me. I'm from
Getting directly to the reason this fight continues to be postponed, Shakur Stevenson has made it clear that he wants the Gervonta "Tank" Davis matchup very badly. But he says Tank's behavior has been goofy, which in his view explains exactly where the real issue lies for Shakur. This is not about contracts or television arrangements. He believes the main problem is that Tank is not approaching the situation seriously enough, and he feels that fans have begun to recognize that as well.
But if same thing that I said,
Fighting perspective.
same thing that I said with T.O. if anybody got issues with me or feel some type of way about me, you could come see me on fight night and resolve every issue that you got.
Yeah.
I stand by that with anybody.
But keeping it boxing.
That's boxing.
No, I'm just saying.
That's not boxing?
Yeah, no, I love it. No, you got to do what you got to do.
Right, like.
I just want to see. I want to know. I'm just asking, realistically, will we ever see y'all two in the ring? However way it get there, will we ever see that match?
I would love.
Looking at the broader history, Shakur Stevenson has been honest about how things were in the early days, saying that he, Tank Davis, and several other rising young fighters had a good relationship at times. However, everyone involved understood that the friendly atmosphere was never likely to last once they all began pursuing the same goal of reaching the top of boxing.
Knew I'm the one. Like, I always knew. And I feel like deep down, like, they probably won't say it, but they know. You know, it was cool at certain times, but deep down, everybody know as a competitor, it's only so cool it can get.
Cause we gonna have to face each other.
So,
copy.
Truthfully, it was cool at times, but
Sean Porter has shared the ring with some of boxing's top fighters and understands exactly what elite talent looks like. And when he analyzes a potential fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson, he believes it would present a challenge unlike anything Tank has dealt with before. Porter views the matchup as a highly technical battle, where Stevenson's defensive brilliance would force Davis to make significant adjustments or risk being outboxed. He also warns that the knockout-based approach Tank has used successfully throughout his career may not be enough against a defensive specialist of Shakur's level.
Said everybody thinks that Tank is gonna go in there and just knock out Shakur. It's gonna
That's not gonna happen.
But it didn't take. It shouldn't have taken this fight. For
I
people,
knew he couldn't.
for people to realize.
Yeah.
Right.
I knew that too. But yeah,
Shakur is a defensive specialist.
And I've been saying this for a long time. If you pay attention to how Tank would react whenever Shakur's name came up, I was like, yo, it's something that Tank knows that most people don't know or understand. There's something that he sees in Shakur. It could be the fact that Shakur was a 2016 silver medalist. You know,
he might got a lot to do with it.
He's that, the silver child of the.
Furthermore, Sean Porter explained that the best fighters are not simply the ones with the most punching power. He believes true elite boxers are defined by their ability to adjust when their original strategy stops working. Drawing from his understanding of top-level competition, Porter emphasized that great fighters continue developing their skills over time and learn how to make changes in the middle of a bout when the knockout is not there and their usual approach is no longer producing results.
Fight with Shakur, you're gonna see this boxing style that you don't usually get from Tank. You're gonna see IQ. We saw IQ, but to me, it was low IQ because the reason why it was low IQ is because everybody followed the script. And what I mean by that is, you see somebody's IQ take place when a fighter makes an adjustment, and now you have to adjust to what that fighter is doing, and that's kind of where you see
who's smart,
you know what I mean?
Who get a hold of it.
I think my fight with Terrence shows a very high level of IQ from both of us. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's what Tank is gonna do with Shakur. He's gonna come into the ring and be a different version of himself.
Adding to the discussion, Roy Jones Jr. has also analyzed a potential fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson, and his conclusion is straightforward. The main factor he believes gives Stevenson the advantage is discipline. In Jones's view, Shakur maintains an exceptional level of focus both inside and outside the ring, and that consistency sets him apart from Davis, whose personal challenges have at times created legitimate concerns about how reliably he can perform when the pressure is greatest and the stakes are at their highest.
Now Shakur wins it because of his discipline, because he showed against Teofimo that he can stay very disciplined all night, and he's the type of guy, he don't really do a lot of crazy stuff in his life normally, so it's like discipline is a thing that is not only exercised inside the ring, it's exercised also outside the ring. And as we see, sometimes Gervonta has problems with discipline, but we have never seen Shakur have problems with discipline. We've seen him be more disciplined at the right times then we've seen him not.
But Roy Jones Jr. did not stop there, and the next part of his analysis makes his point even more compelling. He made it clear that a fully focused and highly motivated Gervonta "Tank" Davis is a serious threat to any fighter who steps into the ring with him, no matter how strong that opponent may appear on paper. According to Jones, Davis possesses exceptional ring intelligence, sharp timing, fight-changing one-punch power, and natural instincts that remain just as dangerous regardless of any distractions or issues outside the ring.
And now I would lean towards Shakur because of his discipline, but don't get it twisted. If somebody could beat him, Tank Davis would be that person because of his intentions. When Tank is disciplined and got his mind on right, Tank's a problem for anybody. Tank can fight better than most people think he can. It's just that sometimes his outside antics get the better of him, and it makes people think less of him, but don't underestimate Tank Davis. If Tank is motivated and ready to fight, Tank is a problem.
And if Roy Jones Jr.'s assessment was not convincing enough, Terrence Crawford adds even more weight to the discussion by pointing to Shakur Stevenson's elite defensive skill as a challenge Gervonta "Tank" Davis has never truly faced before in his career. Crawford also reminds everyone that a 3-division world champion enters every fight with proven credentials and championship-level experience behind him. In Crawford's view, the importance of this matchup is undeniable from the very moment both fighters step into the ring.
But Shakur is a different fighter. You know, Shakur is different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that. He knows that. That's why he's like, he's boring. He's this, he's that. He's trying to diminish everything that Shakur have done, so it's not marketable.
What makes Terrence Crawford's opinion especially compelling is the honesty and balance behind it. He openly acknowledges that he and Gervonta "Tank" Davis have never had the best relationship, yet he does not allow that personal history to influence his boxing analysis. Crawford gives Davis full credit for the ring intelligence, punching power, and sharp instincts that make him a dangerous opponent against anyone. But he also makes a clear distinction between respecting Tank's abilities and remaining confident in his own assessment of the matchup.
Tank is great for what he do, and I respect Tank in the ring and his skills and his power and his attribute and he's smart.
Yeah,
he's definitely smart. He can box off, and I'm not saying I would pick Shakur just because our differences. I'm telling you as a fighter.
Yeah.
I will pick Shakur because I don't believe Tank will be able to land those big shots on Shakur like he does everybody else.
Right.
Shakur defense is just too...
And just like that, the harsh business reality interrupts all the hype, as Coach Kenny Ellis makes it clear that even with a huge payday involved, a fight between Vasily Lomachenko and Gervonta "Tank" Davis could end up being the final bout Lomachenko ever accepts, not out of pride, but because of the very real danger of suffering a serious knockout loss at this stage of his career.
Conversation keeps going, and Mill asked him, like, finally gets to the Gervonta deal. He's like, so you don't think he would fight Gervonta? Kenny Ellis says, nah, man, I don't think he would. I think that'd be the last guy he wants to fight. He said, yeah, it's the biggest money. It'll be the biggest money for him for sure. But does he want to go out on his career getting knocked out like that against Gervonta? I think he'll be the last one that he chooses to try to fight, man. Now, the sad thing is, man, the sad thing about that is that it is probably true. It's probably true. There's a culture in boxing, man, where these guys are out there giving breaks to people, out there giving them money to try to make sure that they don't fight certain.
And just like that, Fannin ends his point in a way that carries real frustration underneath it. He suggests that Gervonta "Tank" Davis will continue winning fights, continuing to earn big purses, and keeping fans entertained. But he may never receive the same level of recognition and elevation that turns a fighter into a global superstar in the way some others have experienced. In Fannin's view, Tank's future success is not in doubt. What remains uncertain is how high his ceiling can truly go and why that part of the conversation is often avoided.
We want to happen in the sport of boxing, so we are going to shut it down. And listening to Kenny Ellis, it's like you could hear it and you can see it in his voice. It's like he's not going to get his hopes up that Gervonta's going to get that. Gervonta's going to have to continue to grind, beat the people that he's able to fight for the big money that he gets for fighting them, satisfy his fan base. But never at a point in time is he ever going to get the opportunities like that a Terrence Crawford got when Terrence Crawford signed with CAA, and all of a sudden, he's running off and getting put in Rocky films and stuff like that. Not going to happen.
But beyond the comeback itself, Boxing Gio adds a detail that should not be overlooked, revealing a behind-the-scenes development that could potentially shift the entire lightweight division. Almost overnight, the business situation has now evolved, and suddenly every major option appears to be back in play.
The man is coming out of retirement and trying to make another run in boxing, right? And we're going to talk about that. Vasyl Lomachenko is coming out of retirement and targeting a return this fall. Sources tell Ring Magazine. Lomachenko. Now, this is the part that you must pay attention to. Yes, you at home. We working. Peep this. Lomachenko's contract with Top Rank expired yesterday when the news came out. And Loma is now a free promotional agent.
But beyond the comeback itself, Boxing Gio points to an important behind-the-scenes update that no one should ignore, suggesting there is a development that could quickly reshape the entire lightweight division. The business situation has shifted, and as a result, every major matchup and negotiation now appears to be back on the table.
He tries to go the Gervonta Tank Davis route and link up with PBC or something to get that fight made, which would be a big mega fight, right? Or Zuffa Boxing and Turkey, they're throwing money around, probably more than what he was getting. Fight on the horizon. You got the Shakurs, the Keishans, the Devin. Well, not Devin, because he's a little bit higher and they already fought. So that ship is probably sailed. But Gervonta Davis.
Coach Calvin Ford keeps things straightforward, but demands a very high level of discipline, running training sessions on a strict weekly routine, with one firm rule that defines the entire environment. Gervonta Tank Davis is working in. This is not a place for just anyone. Only fighters who are fully committed to the work ethic and intensity are allowed to be part of that training setup.
We spar Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And you ain't just got to work with Tank. I got other guys that y'all can work with. So if you want to get some work, if you're getting ready for a fight, we'll help you get ready for the fight. We'll give you some work. You know what I'm saying? This is based on weight classes that I got up in here. Floyd make it, that's what Floyd like. Floyd likes seeing that work, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you ain't come to work, don't come. As simple as that. This work, we out here. We ain't ducking we don't duck no spawn. Everybody want to get some work. I sit back and look at this thing, man. This thing's for real. Gotta keep it tight.